Hello and welcome to One Lap. Today we are putting around the Volvo V60 T8 Polestar Engineered. This isn't just any Volvo V60. This, as mentioned, is the T8 Polestar, which means it has massive front brakes, a turbocharger, supercharger, and electric motor. The electric bit powers the rear axle only. It's about 415 horsepower, and we're gonna see if the enthusiast Volvo wagon is any good on the racetrack. We are inside the Volvo, and you know it's good because we have orange seat belts, and this is a really special car. I actually think it's my favorite car I've driven this year. We had it in the mountains. We're doing track stuff today, and it's super dynamic, but it's really weird because you have mostly a front-wheel drive car, right? 386, I don't really know what it is, but 300 and something horsepower on the front axle, 86 horsepower on the rear, adds up to 415. So it's a front wheel drive bias car. It has fully adjustable Öhlins suspension, at least for dampening. So you have 24 adjustments on all four corners. I haven't seen another reviewer really play with them, but I have the car adjusted to the Polestar recommended setting for performance. They give you a comfort, everyday, and performance setting. So right now the car is dialed up to its performance setting, and it makes a huge difference. I've never felt adjustable suspension make as big of a difference as it does in this car. So I have a little more than 75% charge on the battery, 3/4 of a tank of fuel, of course premium fuel. We're gonna get the car set up. So I'm gonna go ESC sport mode. There's not a full off in this car, although yesterday the brakes got so hot that it did shut the ESP off, but we're not. The car is, I just drove it up here on the highway today in battery charge mode, so it charged it up on the drive. You don't have to plug it in, although I did. We're also going to select, yes, we're already in it, Polestar Engineered mode, which keeps the engine running and uses the electric just for a performance boost. So it's a full internal combustion car like this. As soon as you floor it though, it uses the electric motor to give you the combined 400 and something horsepower. Aside from that, we're just going to put it in B mode, which is adds regenerative braking, off power, and it also locks it in gear so it doesn't go back to drive. So I'll use the paddle shifters. You can also use this thing here to go up and down, but the paddles are honestly easier than knocking this left and right. This is old school Mercedes style right here. Yeah, I love this car. One last note before we get going. The sound system is incredible. Not for One Lap channel, obviously, doesn't matter, but this is literally a sound system strapped to a Volvo. The Bowers and Wilkins in this thing is incredible. If any of you have not heard this system yet, go to a Volvo dealer and just crank it up. Honestly, I can't even go past about 70% without my eardrums bleeding. It's crazy. So to launch this car, it doesn't have launch mode, but you can left foot on the brake, floor it to build boost in the engine. So supercharger kicks on and then the turbocharger. But it also adjusts the transmission shifting to give you a better launch. So let's try that here. So my left foot is planted, flooring it here, boosted, and go. There it goes. Slams second, then slams third gear, which is great. Huge power. This thing rockets off. So we're using power, gas, and electric. Hard on the brakes for this corner. We're gonna try and get it into a lower gear, third gear. It is a little understeery, power cut there. Oh, those brakes are crazy effective. Wow, little lift off oversteer, very neutral balance in this suspension setting. The gap between second and third gear is so big, so it always ends up using the mid-range in third before you can downshift to second if you're going slow enough. And that's totally fine because the car has a lot of torque through the new section. Wow, directional changes is handled so well, and it really isn't that understeery unless you're hard on the power. What I noticed in the mountains yesterday was a lot more understeer. On the track though, it is way better than I expected it to be. These tires, I believe, are Continentals, not sure. You hit the power, oh, it really does a good job of getting the power down out of corners. And we're flat out through the back section. We don't need to lift for this. Through it at 90 something miles an hour. Hard on the brakes. She's good. Oh, also when you drive it hard, it thinks that there's someone sitting unbuckled in the passenger seat, which is kind of funny. Needs a limited slip disc. We just roasted the inside of that tire. Come on, let's go. We're using everything we've got. We've drained the battery just a little bit. Oh, 106 past the start finish. Wow. And you can feel the slotted bits in the discs. That was genuinely my first time driving it hard on track. And keep in mind all of the lap times, you know, this is not my car, this is Volvo's car, so I wasn't pushing it as hard as I could. I want to give them their car back in one piece. Wow, it is so much better on track than I had expected this car to be, because in the mountains it was good, it really was good, but when you really tossed it into corners, it understeered because you were powering out. But here, a little lift off, and you got a lot of neutral balance. It
If you want to see my full review of this car, take a look at Out of Spec Motoring's YouTube channel.
How good it
this
was
will go
on
up
track.
before the full review.
That was a little bit of my concern. Was,
of course, today
this
on the
really
track,
is
we're about to
like
film that
my
section
perfect
and
car.
driving
It's
it around
electric,
daily.
it's gas, it's fast. You can put the dogs in it, but I thought it would be a disappointment on track, and it absolutely is not. Holy crap.
And now let's take a look back at the lap and reveal the time. You can see the Volvo launches super hard with all of that supercharger, turbocharger, and electric power hitting all at once. Pretty awesome. The car has super crazy adjustable suspension, which means cornering is super neutral and predictable. This car was way faster than I expected through the corners. The braking system is definitely the most impressive part of this car. You can pound on those things all day long and they slow it down from very high rates of speed very quickly. So the time that this car did is a quite impressive 1 minute 50-second lap time. Pretty cool. I'll have a link in the description, as with all of our cars, to show where this falls on our lap time board. Keep in mind, all of our lap times are the vehicles not being pushed 10/10. These aren't our cars, and want to make sure they go back to their owners in one piece. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.